Hey guys, I'm Lily O'Reilly. This is Lily O'Reilly Reviews, and today we're going to be discussing the October BoneBox. So let's get to it, huh? Okay, so I know technically I was supposed to take the month off, but when I found the October BoneBox sitting forgotten on my counter, I figured I had to come at least open it up for y'all, and then I'll go back to, my peace and quiet. So, let's see what's inside. If you're not familiar with this, the BoneBox is a monthly subscription box from the company Skulls Unlimited. I've subscribed to it for a minute, and every month you get a skull, you get a little something extra, and you get an info card about what it is. I think it's kind of cool, and I'm really happy that I get to share it with you. So, first off is the shoot and share sheet. Oh, can't say that 3 times fast. Every month they hold a little contest for you to take a really nice picture, share it on social media. You can get a free month. I think it's kind of nifty, personally. I don't do it, though. Now, everything comes packed in white paper. So I'm going to try to quickly unwrap it so it's not too loud. My apologies. Okay. So first off is our little something extra. They've given us a bobcat claw, which they list for $4. So one of the really interesting things about this is that if you notice, the bobcat claw also includes a hefty little piece of bone right on the end of it. Come on, come into focus. You miserable thing. Fine. Now the important thing about this, the fact that the bone attaches to the claw, is that when you declaw a domestic cat, this piece of bone is also removed. So declawing a domestic cat is very similar to removing the end of this finger on all of your fingers. They lose the last knuckle, which is why declawing is, at least in my opinion, and in the opinion of a lot of vets I've talked to, a rather inhumane process. Also, this claw is sharp as shit. Like, I was not expecting that. It's incredibly interesting to see just how sharp they are. It's actually one of the cooler little lanyards, little extra pieces that I've gotten in a hot minute. That's right up there with like the alligator osteoderm. But now for the important part. Let's see what we got. Now, I have no clue what this is, but it looks like it's fairly small. Some months you get larger skulls, but lately they really do seem to be trending toward the littler species. So this month, our skull is a mink, which they list for $35. So, there you go. I'll pop it out of the bag in a second. Here is the fact sheet for the mink. The mink is a semi-aquatic carnivore inhabiting streams and rivers throughout most of North America. Take a close look at the shape of the skull. The square jaw, sharp canines, strong molars, and dense bone are great examples of a mustelid. Mustelids are found on 5 continents and in nearly every kind of environment. They are excellent hunters and have been known to bring down prey significantly larger than themselves. The American mink has been introduced to habitats across the world in an effort to increase the production of fur. Many of those minks escaped into the wild and established themselves into a full-fledged breeding population. As a result, you can now find them in Europe, Iceland, the British Isles, and the Patagonia region of South America. that's actually super interesting. I had no clue that they were surviving all over the world because we wanted more mink fur. Oh. And for people who don't know what a mink looks like, I'll find an image and post it up. They're long-bodied, similar to a sable or kind of similar to a ferret. They're like long, noodly death machines, and I really love them. And as I've learned from prior experience, you can't see the skull from here, so I'm going to get up, hurl myself across the table, and show you the skull. Thank God for a table I can sit on. So one of the really delightful things... Hang on. So one of the really delightful things about this skull is how cleanly they've preserved the teeth and how wonderful the jaw articulation is. It's very, very easy to see exactly how this moved in the wild. And as you can tell, it's a short, squatty skull that was very much made for a high bite strength. Long canines, as you can tell, carnivorous, but the molars in the back are also just beautiful to look at. I'm always particularly fascinated by the eye sockets, especially in species with the large cheekbones, because it really shows how the musculature was attached. And as always with BoneBox, these come across very well cleaned. There's no real issues with leftover tissue on them. And it's surprising how sturdy this skull feels. Sometimes when you have smaller skulls, they feel delicate, but this is a skull that you can tell dealt with a lot of force because it's a very dense bone. But yeah, overall, it's a beautiful example. So, with the skull nicely put away, I do believe that we can call this a thorough examination of the October BoneBox. Given that the skull was $35 and the claw was $4, we came in at about $39, which I think is a fairly reasonable value as compared to the cost of the BoneBox. So, overall, I'm happy with it. If you would like to skip the BoneBox process and simply buy the skull itself, I'll go ahead and put a link down below so that you can go to the Skulls Unlimited site and purchase from them directly. They do not have an affiliates program, much to my chagrin. They do not give me a way to profit off of y'all buying their things, so I'm really just pointing you to them because I believe they do a fairly good job of ethical skull collection and sales. Most of what they get is byproducts of, yes, in some cases fur farms, but they'll also buy domestic or roadkill or whatever. So if you're somebody that does their own vulture culture collections and you have duplicates, you can actually go to their website and they have a link for you to sell your skulls to them, which I think is super nifty. So yeah, that's what I've got for this month for this box. Hopefully it was interesting for you. And let's see. Oh, if you want to find me where I exist online, that would be allmylinks.com/Lily O'Reilly. If you would like to toss me a couple bucks on Ko-Fi so I can continue doing things like this, ko-fi.com/Lily O'Reilly. And overall, just thank you for being here. I'm really glad that my personal weird affection for skulls has turned into something that I can share with y'all that you also enjoy. So, yeah. Till next time. Bye.